You put your child to bed at 8 o'clock. By 8:30, they're calling for water. By 9, they need the bathroom. By 9:30, they're crying because the blanket isn't right. And by 10 o'clock, you're exhausted, frustrated, and wondering what you're doing wrong. Here's the truth that might sting a little. It's probably not your child. It's the routine, or more specifically, the tiny mistakes hidden inside the routine that you don't even realize you're making. I'm not talking about you being a bad parent, not even close. I'm talking about well-meaning habits that seem harmless but are actually wiring your child's brain to resist sleep. And the worst part? These mistakes are so common that most parents assume this chaos is just normal. Spoiler alert, it's not. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the most common bedtime mistakes parents make, why they're sabotaging your child's sleep, and most importantly, how to fix them starting tonight. Because a peaceful bedtime isn't about luck or having an easy child. It's about understanding how sleep actually works and building a routine that works with your child's biology, not against it. Let me start with something that might surprise you. The biggest bedtime mistake doesn't happen at bedtime at all. It happens hours earlier. Most parents think bedtime starts when you say time for bed, but your child's brain? It started preparing for sleep, or failing to prepare for sleep, long before that. The activities, the lighting, the stimulation your child experienced in the late afternoon and early evening have already set the stage. If that stage is overstimulating, chaotic, or inconsistent, you're starting the race with a handicap. Think about it this way. Sleep is not an on-off switch. It's a dimmer. Your child's nervous system needs time to gradually shift from active mode to calm mode to sleep mode. But if you're rushing through dinner, letting them watch high-energy cartoons right up until bath time, or skipping steps in the routine because you're running late, you're asking their brain to go from 100 to 0 in minutes. It doesn't work that way. It can't work that way. And before we go further, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest bedtime struggle right now? Is it the endless requests, the refusal to stay in bed, the middle of the night wake-ups? Drop a comment below because I read every single one, and your experience might help another parent realize they're not alone. And if you're new here, welcome to the Parenting Blueprint, where we cut through the noise and give you real strategies that actually work. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Now let's talk about what's really going wrong at bedtime and how to fix it. Let's dive into the first major mistake, inconsistent timing. And I don't just mean putting your child to bed at different times each night, though that's part of it. I'm talking about the entire evening being unpredictable. One night dinner is at 5:30, the next it's at 7. One night bath time is right after dinner, the next night it's skipped entirely. One night you read 3 books, the next night you're too tired, so you read one or none. Here's what's happening in your child's brain when the routine is inconsistent. Their body has an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. This clock regulates when they feel alert and when they feel sleepy. But this clock needs consistent cues to function properly. When bedtime and the events leading up to it happen at wildly different times, their circadian rhythm gets confused. The body doesn't know when to start producing melatonin, the hormone that makes us feel sleepy. So even when you finally say, okay, it's bedtime, their brain isn't ready. They're not being difficult. They're literally not tired yet, or they're overtired, which is somehow even worse. Overtired children don't fall asleep easier. They fall asleep harder. When a child stays awake past their natural sleep window, their body releases cortisol, a stress hormone, to keep them going. Now you've got a child who's exhausted but wired. That's why they melt down at bedtime. That's why they fight sleep even though their eyes are red and they're yawning. Their biology is working against them, and it started because the timing was off. The fix? Lock in your timing. And I mean lock it in. Same dinner time, same bath time, same bedtime, every single night. Yes, even on weekends. I know that's hard to hear, especially if you treasure those late Friday nights, but consistency is everything when you're building a healthy sleep routine. You can have some flexibility once the routine is rock solid, but in the beginning, you need to be almost rigid about it. Give it 2 weeks of consistency and watch what happens. Your child's body will start to anticipate sleep. They'll actually start feeling tired at the right time. Now let's talk about mistake number 2, screens before bed. I know, you've heard this before. But hear me out, because most parents still don't fully understand why this matters so much. It's not just about the content being stimulating, though that's part of it. It's about the light, specifically blue light. Blue light, the kind emitted by phones, tablets, and TVs, signals to your child's brain that it's daytime. It suppresses melatonin production. So if your child is watching a show or playing a game on a screen within 2 hours of bedtime, you're essentially telling their brain to stay awake. Even if the content is calm, even if it's educational, the light itself is the problem. And here's the tricky part. The effects aren't immediate. Your child might seem calm while watching. They might even seem tired. But 30 minutes later, when you're trying to get them to actually fall asleep, their brain is still in alert mode. They'll toss and turn. They'll call out for you. They'll say they're not tired. And technically, they're right. Their melatonin has been suppressed. You've biochemically made it harder for them to sleep, and you didn't even realize it. The solution is simple, but requires discipline. No screens for at least 90 minutes before bed, ideally 2 hours. Replace screen time with calming activities. Reading, puzzles, coloring, quiet play. Yes, your child might protest at first. They might say they're bored. But boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is actually the bridge to calm. Mistake number 3 is one that surprises most parents when I mention it. The bedtime routine is too exciting. Wait, what? Yes, you heard that right. Many parents create a bedtime routine that's so fun, so engaging, so filled with activities that it actually energizes the child instead of calming them down. Let me paint a picture. Bath time turns into a splash party with toys and games. Then there's a race to see who can put pajamas on fastest. Then you're reading books, but you're doing all the voices with big expressions and dramatic pauses. Then there are songs, maybe some tickling, lots of laughter. And all of this is wonderful, truly. Connection and joy are important, but not right before sleep, because what you've actually done is ramp your child up when you needed to bring them down. Think of your child's energy like a car. Throughout the day, they've been accelerating. The bedtime routine is supposed to be the gentle braking system that brings them to a complete stop. But if your routine involves high energy, lots of stimulation and excitement, you're tapping the gas pedal while also trying to brake. The car doesn't stop. It lurches forward in fits and starts. That's what's happening in your child's nervous system. Here's how to fix it. The bedtime routine should be calm, predictable, and even a little boring. I know boring sounds terrible, but boring is soothing to a child's nervous system. Bath time should be warm and gentle, not a water park. Pajamas should go on calmly, not in a rush. Book reading should be soft-voiced and slow-paced. The lights should be dim. Your energy should be low. You're modeling calm, and children mirror what we show them. This doesn't mean bedtime has to be joyless. You can still connect. You can still cuddle and talk about the day. But the energy needs to match the goal, which is sleep. If you want your child to wind down, you have to wind down first. Your calm is contagious. So is your chaos. Now let's talk about mistake number 4, and this one is huge. Giving in to requests after bedtime starts. You know what I'm talking about, the I need water request, the one more book plea, the I have to tell you something important that's definitely not important. Every time you give in to these requests, you're teaching your child that bedtime is negotiable. And once bedtime becomes negotiable, it's over. You've lost the boundary. Here's what's really happening. Your child is testing the routine, not because they're manipulative or bad, but because testing boundaries is literally how children learn where the edges are. When you set a boundary, like this is the last book, and then you read another one anyway, the boundary disappears. Your child learns that last doesn't actually mean last. So tomorrow night, they'll push again, and the night after that. And suddenly you're reading 5 books instead of 2, and bedtime has stretched from 30 minutes to 90 minutes, and you're exhausted and resentful. The fix requires you to be firm and consistent, even when it's hard. Decide in advance what the routine includes. Let's say it's bath, pajamas, 2 books, 1 song, and lights out. Communicate this to your child. Then stick to it. When they ask for a 3rd book, you calmly say, "We already read our 2 books. It's time to sleep now." When they ask for water, you say, "You had water during our routine. Your body is ready for sleep." Say it kindly, but say it firmly. And then don't budge. Yes, they might cry. They might protest. The first few nights might be hard, but within a week, maybe less, they'll stop asking because they've learned the boundary is real. And here's the beautiful part. Once children know the boundary is solid, they actually feel safer. The testing stops. The bedtime battles stop. Because they're not wondering if maybe, just maybe, they can push it tonight. They know the answer. And knowing the answer is calming. Mistake number 5. The sleep environment is all wrong. And I don't just mean messy or cluttered, though that can be part of it. I'm talking about light, temperature, noise, and stimulation. Your child's bedroom might look cute and cozy to you, but to their sleep system, it could be a disaster zone. Let's start with light. Even small amounts of light can interfere with melatonin production and disrupt sleep cycles. That nightlight you think is helping, if it's too bright or the wrong color, it's actually hurting. Blue and white lights are the worst offenders. If your child needs a nightlight, and many do, it should be dim and warm-toned. Red or amber light is best because it doesn't interfere with melatonin. Also, check for light sneaking in from hallways, street lamps, or electronics. Even the tiny glow from a charging device can be enough to signal wakefulness to a sensitive child's brain. Temperature matters more than most parents realize. The ideal sleep temperature for children is between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That might feel cool to you, but it's optimal for sleep. When the body gets ready for sleep, its core temperature naturally drops. A cooler room supports this process. A room that's too warm works against it. If your child is kicking off blankets, sweating, or seems restless, temperature might be the culprit. Adjust the thermostat, use breathable bedding, and dress them in light pajamas. Now let's talk about noise. Some children need complete silence. Others sleep better with white noise or gentle background sounds that mask sudden noises like a dog barking or a door closing. If you live in a noisy environment or have other children in the house, a white noise machine can be a game changer. It creates a consistent sound buffer that helps the brain stay asleep, even when other sounds occur. Just make sure the volume is moderate, not blaring. And then there's visual stimulation. I'm talking about toys, posters, decorations, screens, anything that grabs attention. A child's bedroom should be boring at night. I know you spent time decorating. I know that bookshelf looks adorable. But if your child can see it from their bed, it's a distraction. They'll look at the toys and think about playing. They'll stare at the colorful wall decals instead of closing their eyes. The bedroom should feel like a sleep cave, not a playroom. During the day, fine, let it be fun. But at night, dim the lights, close the curtains, and remove visual temptation. Mistake number 6 is rushing the routine or skipping steps. Life gets busy. I get it. Some nights you're running late or you're tired or something came up. And it's tempting to think, we'll just skip bath tonight, or let's do a quick version of bedtime. But here's the problem. The routine isn't just a checklist, it's a signal. Each step tells your child's brain, we're getting closer to sleep. When you skip steps or rush through them, you break that signal. The brain doesn't get the full message, and then you wonder why your child isn't settling down. Consistency isn't just about timing, it's about the steps themselves. If bath is part of the routine, it needs to happen every night. If you read 2 books, It needs to be 2 books every night. The predictability is what creates the sense of safety and calm. When children know exactly what's coming next, their nervous system relaxes. Uncertainty creates anxiety, even low-level anxiety that they can't articulate. They just feel unsettled. So even on chaotic days, protect the routine, build in enough time, make it non-negotiable, because the routine is the foundation of good sleep. And without that foundation, everything else crumbles. Let me also mention something important: your own stress and energy. Children are incredibly perceptive. They pick up on your tension, your frustration, your impatience. If you're approaching bedtime like it's a battle you're about to fight, your child feels that, and they respond to it. Their nervous system mirrors yours. If you're stressed, they get stressed. If you're calm, they absorb that calm. So before you even start the bedtime routine, take 60 seconds for yourself. Take a deep breath. Let go of the day's frustrations. Remind yourself that this is not a fight. This is a process. You're not forcing your child to sleep. You're guiding them toward it. That shift in mindset changes everything. Your tone softens, your movements slow down, and your child responds to that energy. They feel safer, they cooperate more, and bedtime becomes peaceful instead of painful. Now let's put this all together with a step-by-step routine you can start using tonight. This is a framework, so feel free to adjust the timing based on your child's age and your family's schedule. But the principles remain the same: consistency, calm, and predictability. Let's say bedtime is 8 o'clock. That means your routine should start around 7. Yes, a full hour before sleep. Remember, sleep is a dimmer, not a switch. Start by dimming the lights throughout your home. This signals to everyone's brain that the day is winding down. Turn off all screens. Put away anything that might cause excitement or conflict. 7 o'clock. Begin with a light snack if needed. Something small and sleep-friendly, like a banana or a small glass of milk. Avoid sugar and anything heavy that might cause discomfort. This is also a good time to use the bathroom and brush teeth if you're doing that before bath. 7:15, bath time. Keep the water warm but not too hot. Use calming scents like lavender if your child enjoys them. Keep the energy low. This is not playtime. Gentle washing, maybe a quiet song, then out. Bath should be about 10 to 15 minutes. 7:30, pajamas and any final bathroom needs. Move slowly and calmly. If your child is old enough, let them choose their pajamas the night before so there's no decision fatigue or conflict at this stage. 7:40, move to the bedroom. Lights should already be dim. Sit together in a comfortable spot. Read 1 or 2 books. Keep your voice soft and steady. If your child wants to talk about their day, this is the time. Listen without being overly animated. Validate their feelings, but keep the energy calm. 7:55. Final tuck-in. 1 song, 1 short prayer or affirmation if that's part of your family culture, or simply a gentle good night. Say something consistent every night like, "I love you, sleep well, see you in the morning." This becomes an anchor phrase that signals the end of the routine. 8 o'clock. Lights out. Leave the room. If your child calls out, respond briefly and calmly without re-engaging. You're safe. It's time to sleep. Then give them space to settle. The first few nights they might protest. Stay consistent. Don't go back in for negotiations. They're learning the new boundary. This routine works because it honors how the brain and body prepare for sleep. It's not about control. It's about creating the conditions where sleep can happen naturally. And when sleep happens naturally, everyone wins. Your child gets the rest they need for growth, learning, and emotional regulation. And you get your evenings back. You get peace. You get to be a parent who isn't constantly battling bedtime. Here's the thing about parenting. We often look for complex solutions to problems that have simple answers. We think there must be something wrong with our child, or with us, when really, it's just that we're missing 1 or 2 key pieces of the puzzle. Bedtime struggles aren't a personality flaw. They're not a discipline issue. Most of the time, they're a routine issue, and routines can be fixed. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one mistake from this video that you know you're making. Just one. Maybe it's the inconsistent timing. Maybe it's the screens before bed. Maybe it's giving in to those extra requests. Focus on that one thing for the next week. Make that one change and see what happens. I'm willing to bet you'll see improvement. And once that change sticks, pick another one. Layer these changes on top of each other, and within a month, bedtime will look completely different in your home. Remember, a good night's sleep is not luck. It's not genetics. It's not about having an easy child. It's about having a solid, consistent, calm routine that works with your child's biology instead of against it. You have more control over this than you think, and now you have the knowledge to use that control wisely. If this video helped you, do me a favor, leave a comment and let me know which mistake you're going to fix first. Share your bedtime struggles or your wins. This community is full of parents just like you, figuring this out one night at a time. And don't forget to subscribe to the Parenting Blueprint for more strategies that actually work. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. You've got this. Tonight can be different. Start now.